But let's get into some of those games that matter tonight. In the ACC, NC State traveling to Virginia. Good one here, Joe. Overnight lines, -4.5 or so, but in the marketplace today, 5.5, even as high as 6, Joe. That's some outlets here. And the total sits at 152.5. What are we seeing tonight in the spread line between NC State and Virginia?
Not the prettiest of games here tonight, but certainly a meaningful one here, Donnie, because both of these teams likely heading to the tournament. And we did see this earlier as well, by the way, and Virginia ended up handling business in a pretty easy way. So I think this is, when you look at North Carolina State, they have underperformed in some aspects, overperformed in others. I thought it was a great win for Virginia against Miami, but I think this is one of those spots, Donnie, where this is going to be a great litmus test for both of them. NC State is hitting from 3. They don't need to get to the rim with the shooters that they have. I think they're going to be, I think they got a good chance of pulling this one down here against Virginia, who I happen to think is kind of could be a paper tiger here. I think a lot of people think they're better than they really are.
Let's see what happens tonight, Joe, in the Big 12. Cincinnati taking on Texas Tech. Last time we saw Cincinnati absolutely smacking Kansas on the road. They're going to take on Texas Tech, who did pick up a victory in their last game without Toppin. Now it's game number 2 without Toppin, but they still are the favorite, Joe. 6.5 overnight, still sitting at 6.5 at most outlets right now. 142.5 is that total. Now, Texas Tech does come in as the most efficient offense, but again, down their best player. What gives tonight? Cincinnati, Texas Tech, what's that spread line?
It kind of crazy, right? So Cincinnati goes to Kansas, right? Gets it done on a big upset, maybe the biggest upset ever. But they have been playing like a tournament team, Donnie, for the better part of maybe last 2 months, I would say, Cincinnati. And yes, they've lost some games badly, but they have been rolling right now. And Texas Tech, sure, they were able to win last game without Toppin. Can they keep that up here? Cincinnati is a tough team right now. And let's face it, you look at some of the standings here at KenPom and others, we're talking about a top 30 team in the country right now, and they've been playing like it. So double digits for a team that's top 30, I might have to take those tonight with Cincinnati.
How about this, Joe? Let's get to your boys, the Red Hawks of Miami of Ohio here, taking on Eastern Michigan and Ypsilanti. You look at the numbers overnight, 8.5 to 9.5, Joe, have now turned into 10.5 at a lot of outlets here in a total of 153.5. Can they stay unbeaten? And they bring the most efficient offense in MAC play to town versus Eastern Michigan. Close to a double-digit favorite at most outlets here, Joe. Can they hold up tonight, win, and also cover? What's that spread line?
Well, at this point, Donnie, right, we don't care whether or not they actually cover anymore.
Nope.
It's really all about just winning and finishing the season undefeated. KenPom has them as a 39% chance of actually running the table in the regular season here. But the way they have been playing, Donnie, I mean, they have been blowing teams out here without a problem. Eastern Michigan is not a great team here. I think they roll in this game once again tonight.
Let's get after it. College basketball in full effect. Under 3 weeks till Selection Sunday. The excitement of college championships are going to start up next week, Joe. Did you know that? And away we go. Elimination time. Love to see it here. But let's take a look at the AP poll for Week 16, which you know who's on top now? It's the Duke Blue Devils. Why? In part because on Saturday at 6 o'clock down there in Washington, they knocked off the Michigan Wolverines, who were the previous #1 team. Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Iowa State, and Houston, Joe, is your new top 5.
Well-deserved, right? I mean, you had to know that, well, if you beat the #1 team, it's a good, and #2 lose it, well, there's a good chance you might jump the pile, and that's exactly what happened to Duke here. Arizona, again, great win there that they were able to take advantage of Houston. They moved up, but any order, like, of those teams, I think in the top 5, you got Iowa State at 4, you got Houston now at 5, although I think we have a problem. Houston, we have a problem here now with a 3-in-a-row losing streak going. 0-3 in their last 3.
Yeah.
Not good. But I got to tell you, Duke likely going to be, Donnie, I think, the #1 team in the country when it's all said and done.
Yeah, Fertitta's got to put a little bit more money into the NIL fund down there for Houston. Get the boys back going right here. That's not Houston losing 3 games in a row is absolutely crazy. Now, take a deep breath out there, people. And I have something that we're going to go over now, which we're going to have some fun with. What if I would tell you, Joe? I say, you know what, Joe? I'm going to miss tomorrow's show in the early line. Donnie, what did you do? Robbed 3 banks yesterday. Oh, man, we're never going to see Donnie around the SportsGrid Network anymore. You just can't do that. And then I tell you, no, 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 no. I have 16 different courts lined up for appeal. So if I get convicted in New Jersey, Joe, I'm going to move to Pennsylvania for a court system. And if they still feel like they're going to convict me there, I'm going to head up there to Massachusetts. If they feel like they're going to still convict me, I'm going to then go to Maine. He said that doesn't make any sense here. It doesn't. But you know what makes sense? College basketball players and college athletes doing this. You can go to a court system that tells you you can't do this and then just refile in another court system just to slow play and draw it out so you can play the rest of your season on an appeal only for it to get overturned finally, but the season's over and it doesn't matter. On 3 reports here, Charles Bediako has filed an appeal to the Alabama Supreme Court amid his eligibility denial. He is seeking interim injunction relief, allowing him to play while the appeal is pending. This is getting to be outrageous. Like we joked about it yesterday, Joe. Joey Aguilar, the quarterback for Tennessee. Just move it to 16 different court systems and then say, all right, I'll drop my appeal in late December when the football season is over. This is getting ridiculous.
It just goes to show you, though, Donnie, because I'm pretty sure Charles Bediako is not funding this. Okay, so it goes to show you how much money is at stake when you're getting, you know what these attorneys are billing right now to take an appeal to the Supreme Court? Who's paying for that exactly, Donnie? Because it probably ain't Charles Bediako. It's somebody else who thinks that Charles Bediako can actually win this thing. Unbelievable, Donnie. But, hey, listen. Don't hate, don't hate the player, hate the game, because he's just doing what he is allowed to do at this particular point.
Like we can do this in like college and the injunctions here. It feels like when a judge like, okay, you can't do that. Well, fine, I'll just go to another jurisdiction. I guess appealing to the state Supreme Court of Alabama. Let's say, hey, by the way, there's 6 justices over there and 5 of them graduated from Alabama. Like,
Yeah.
You're just looking for opportunities for yourself, which is absolutely incredible here. How about this opportunity, Joe? Or will it continue to even be an opportunity? Darryn Peterson's availability is shaping Kansas's season. A quote here. This is from Bill Self. Have I really had a chance to coach you yet? Is he having fun this year with Peterson, one of the best players in college basketball, who's like, I don't know if I get the kid on a day-to-day basis, if he's listening, or, hey, do you want to play tonight?
You got to love also Dick Vitale coming out and blasting him, being like, Bill Self and Kansas just need to move on from him. You know, divorce is good sometimes when it's just not working out. Yeah, I agree. And you know the worst part, Donnie, is that have you even heard from him at all? Like, I don't think I've heard a press conference. I don't think I've heard anything from this kid. And that is by design. I don't know that Bill Self has had a conversation with this kid at all for any length of time.
Yeah, I think he released a statement, or who even knows of a statement from him, like, of course I want to play and play it hard here. Understand the facts of life here as well. Like Jimmy Johnson used to tell you, hey, look, if my backup long snapper falls asleep in a meeting, I will embarrass him and cut him in front of everybody. If Emmitt Smith falls asleep, I'll basically get him a pillow so he can sit back and relax at this point right now. But yeah, there's Peter's like, basketball is my life, and this is all that. It doesn't seem like it's your life. We're just trying to get to the pros and to the NBA. It is what it is. But last night, Joe, in the ACC, North Carolina, nice victory, 77-74 over Louisville. Game stayed under the total, too.
Yeah, Trimble beats Louisville by himself here with a 30-point performance. But another top 25 team that Louisville and Pat Kelsey can't seem to get past. Unbelievable.
It's a Tuesday. Here's bye. College basketball, pro basketball. Tomorrow, you can include hockey back into your lineup. But for tonight, Joe, where do we hit it on the hardwood?
Yeah, Donnie, like we have been every week, right? When they play, there's no reason to look to not back Miami of Ohio. The Red Hawks tonight just keep winning and winning in very impressive fashion, Donnie. 27 regular season wins, 14-0 in MAC play. They got a few more to get to run the table and go undefeated. And listen, they have not played Eastern Michigan yet, but Eastern Michigan, their style is interesting, Donnie. They are going to want to keep this thing at about 60 possessions. Yep. They are slower than anything. Not going to matter. Miami of Ohio is going to run away with this one. Lay it with them here tonight again.